Hey there. I'm just out on a hike with my family and, well, my son, and wanted to do some words of encouragement. We're up here in the Ochre Mountains hiking, and I found kind of a cool little place to stop and do some words of encouragement. It looks like an old fort that was built. I know we're going through some crazy times right now, and whenever things get difficult or hard, I try to look for heroes or people like myself, normal people that went through hard times and came out better because of it. And the last couple of days, President Abraham Lincoln has been on my mind. I went back and I reread the Gettysburg Address. And if you haven't read the Gettysburg Address ever, I recommend it. Just search Gettysburg Address, or there might even be somebody to read it to you on YouTube. But it's such a cool speech, and there's a lot of lessons that can come from the life of Abraham Lincoln. The first one is, if you study his life, he failed way more than he succeeded. And somehow he still was able to become the President of the United States of America. And I believe some of that was maybe divine intervention because of the mission that he would fulfill for the American people. But he just never gave up. He lost and lost and lost and then won, and then lost and lost and lost and then won. And but as we get into his presidency, we see that the country was completely divided. The North and the South split. Father and son went to war against each other. Our morals as a country came to their testing point, and for good reason. And they tried to bring the nation back together. Congress at the time and the president tried to bring the nation back together. But there was just it was so polarized about whether there should be slavery or not. And President Lincoln was adamant that the country could not heal and become united again until they were able to get rid of slavery. And he said, quoting the Bible, that a house divided cannot stand. And he knew that was the case. And so he declared to Congress and the different government leaders that the only way to bring the country back together was to declare war on slavery. And hundreds of thousands of Americans died as our nation was ripped apart, and yet he held to his moral conviction that all men were created equal. And as he dedicates the land in Gettysburg, he says that our forefathers knew that everyone was created equal and that we had gone on a wrong path and that we needed to get back there. And his own people fought against him. Congress fought against him, but he held to that moral code. And God bless him for doing that, right? But he was told as they came to the end of the war that he needed to give up on this dream of freeing the slaves and give up on this dream that all men were created equal. And that his legacy, his only legacy as president, would be that he allowed hundreds of thousands of Americans to die. And to that he said that although he was pained by that he had to think of the millions that would be better off because of his conviction and because of wanting to bring the nation back together, and the untold tens of millions that would benefit from his decision. And so here we stand today as the United States. We're still united, and yet we are divided more than ever as a people. And on my channel, I try not to rip on the Democrats, and I try not to rip on the Republicans. I just try to be an American citizen who's concerned about my fellow brothers and sisters here in America. And so anyway, the country did come back together, and they were able to become united again. And it wasn't without pain, and it wasn't without struggle. And I think getting back to where we were before this lockdown is going to take time. But I think if we will come together as citizens of the United States, and not as Democrats and not as Republicans, but as people that need help to reopen and support our own nation and our own land, I believe that we can do it. I believe that we can do hard things. I believe that we can take a divided house and bring it together and come back together as a nation. Anyway, it's going to take me and it's going to take you to make this happen. But I just want you to know that my community is always on my mind. I hope that we can stand united here as a community, and that you appreciate the work that I put into this channel. I try to answer as many people as I can. I look at other channels and they don't answer anybody, and I stay up sometimes till late into the night trying to answer you guys. So anyway, I'm gonna share on a different video some of the hike. It's just absolutely beautiful. But let's come together as a nation. I hope that the government will do what's right for its people. I will share some more thoughts on the bill that's been passed by the by the House of Representatives, and what I believe the Senate needs to do. I hope that they will choose the American people over other nations and over corporations that should have had the money to weather 60 to 90 days. Anyway, God bless. Thanks for being in my community, and I'll see you on the next video.